Sigma 1.4 patch notes have come out, so now it's time to read them. Let's see. General quality of life, maggot layers, widened all passages and rooms to prevent characters from getting stuck. Does this include the maggot layer leading to Zaxix, or is this just is it just the Haradric staff quest? I would love if it was both. Harrogath. Now Larzuk now sells catalysts in case players lose it. Yeah, whatever. Caldium improved map, moved NPCs closer, and added missing Ashera. Alright, I've been commenting about Ashera being gone, so cool. Fixed missing scroll bar and realm character select screen. Whatever. Monsters added descriptions to several endgame bosses. Okay. Renamed multiple normal and elite uber monsters. Okay. Whatever. Bloodskin Darkbrow now uses Cascade and Trinity Arrow instead of Barrage and Bloodstorm. That, I think, is a pretty big buff, though. We'll see. Because Trinity Arrow does hit, like, what is it, 16 times per second? Cascade's nothing, though. Diablo rebalanced health and damage on all difficulties and reduced block chance and hell difficulty. Fire Nova is been nerfed, removed knockback and lower damage. I didn't have trouble with Diablo on hell difficulty, but whatever. Physical resist of all bosses has been increased by 5 points. Progression of physical damage scaling is a little too easy to execute, with many classes having innate 10 times damage multipliers, crafted weapons spawning with high flat values, and casters needing less gear optimization. I imagine that Stormblast Barb will still be absurdly overpowered with the right gear. Miscellaneous fixed a vanilla bug that triggered quest event when entering Act 5 levels above a certain point. Okay, whatever. Mercenary tooltips, yeah. Combat Shrine attack rating bonus down to 10% due to the weird way Diablo 2 calculates the value. Whatever, no one uses those. Island Discarder required area levels 115. Yeah, that never really made sense, since you could enter it at 115, but the game's like, oh, you can't enter here because we say so, even though Tranathala's 120. Or 115 as well, so. Let's see. Island of the Sunless Sea. Pierce roll increased to 2 to 5. You're gonna farm a +5 no matter what, if you need it. Ethereals give more experience. Nobody farms Library of Fate, aka Column Grad, anyway. Increased Meteor Shower proc. Just don't stand in it. Tranathala. Fragment drop increased to 4%. Thank fucking God. Last season I had to farm up to like level 126 to get the damn trophy. Thank God that this has been improved. Increased unique item drop chance. So that means if you're going to be farming for tier uniques, you go to Tranathala. I'm going to make sure this thing is recording. Yeah, it is. It looks shitty, but what the fuck ever. Ghost Trance. Bonus to all attributes is now 11 to 40. Oh, okay, that's Spirit of Gila. Umbered Treasure reduced spell damage max roll 10%. And Zagral now drops items and has a high chance to drop a random essence. So I could see certain builds just rushing to Zagral and giving them now. I won't be with my builds because I'll be doing Trapsin and or Poison Caster Sork, so I don't think I can even do that. Triune monster density increased. Nice. Halved burn damage. Oh, I assume from the 1 HP Nova or missiles. Okay, I was gonna ask. Lucian halved health to adjust for lower damage. Good. Reduced hell wave duration. Thumbs up. That's all I could say about that. Duncraig, double jewelry drop chance, so that means you might be getting some SU rings and amulets. I found some good ones last season. Fosdenville removed front upper wall on Epsilon boss room. Which one was Epsilon? Actually, don't remember. I don't remember the specific ones. I remember Beta and Alpha, but that's about it. Taroja reduced... Oh, hold on. Decreased jewelry drop chance to prevent set jewelry spam. Increased in other zones and increased equipment drop chance. So there might be a chance that someone will find Tyrael's Might or something. And yeah, thank God for the set jewelry spam reduction, because yeah, Angel of Death amulet just became ridiculously cheap and worthless. Taroja reduced huge experience gain. Well, that's gonna suck. Let's see. Demos. Not that I'm ever gonna get this far. Abyssal Spire movement rate reduction down, now 15% down from 50. Reduces attack rate and cast speed by 25 and cast speed by 50. Ormax Lightning Cage disappears 25% faster and does 20 less damage. Reduce the stats gap on reward charm between 5 and 6 and 6 out of 6 difficulty, as 6 out of 6 will now be balanced for party play. I don't know about that. Apocalypse now deals 25% damage compared to before and hits 4 times over 4 seconds. Change is made to reduce the burst damage of this ability. So does that mean... I'm guessing that means it won't technically one-shot you, but you still want to get the hell out of there. Reduced max reward stats. Hopefully it won't be completely killed. Healing of Abyssal Shrine increased by 200% and boss health increased by 25. Ooh. That... I don't know. Phobos Icy Explosions. I never did show this off. Randomized ice pattern. That'll just probably mean more cheap random deaths. Okay, I encountered this one. Fixed above, which caused Quaff's Sin to spawn not inheriting levels damage modifier. I got him at like floor 9 or 10, and he was still literally no threat whatsoever. Like, I was still able to face tank him. That was pretty good. So, now if he spawns, he'll actually be a threat. Double jewelry drop chance. If you want jewelry... Like, if you need jewelry by this point, you probably can't be doing Labyrinth anyway. At least not the real high-end stuff. Tier 15, additional Demios access scroll now dropped from the mini-boss rather than the shrine. So I guess you destroy the shrine and get the thing. And the shrine no longer spawns the weakest outcome. So, if you want the access scroll, you might have to go through Archbishop Lazarus. I got him on tier 8 once, and Purify does fucking nothing to him, even at floor 8. King Koth. Okay, endgame dungeons. Sought on Mount Ariat. Rename Bolt Kathos. Rename minions. Whatever. Fix Diablo's morph hit recovery animation and remove stun from Bear Claw. Good. And Binding of Bale fixed Bale morphs hit recovery animation. Good, if you're going to have a 20-second lockout on this shit, I'd say. Reduced health and added block chance. Whatever, that'll still be easy, probably. Rakkus Guardsman. Halved guard tower proc duration on death. Good, because that shit was annoying. Bull Prince Rodeo is now a demon. Whatever. Nobody cares. Banisher of Light. Spirit of Stone now uses Fortress instead of Broadside. Thank God, because Broadside made it really absurdly hard with melee builds. Earth Elemental now uses Overkill instead of ATMG Sentry. This, I'm thinking, is because if you teleport to them and just stand there, their ATMG Sentry will never hit you. To prevent cheesing, I guess. Judgment Day, Edrium no longer freezes minions. If you're a summoner, that's nice. If you're not a summoner, who gives a shit? Twin Seas, Athala, remove block, increase HP, reduce chance to teleport. Now it's 15% chance to drop Tran Athala fragment. That's nice if you get some Ascari calls, but if you're playing a build that has trouble with it, you're not going to be doing Athala more than once. I mean, Unholy Caster didn't really have a problem with it, and Thorn Warden could face tanker, but Howling Spirits no longer freeze minions. Like I said with Judgment Day, unless if you're a summoner, that's great. If you're not a summoner, whatever. Yashari Sanctum, all bosses have a sprite name. Is this Scholar of Hatred? So I guess that means Mephisto. Now uses Apocalypse instead of Knockback Nova, and only appears as 25% elemental, down from 250. Will summon Veil Kings less often, so that's going to make it even easier. Yashari set remove block chance, reduce the damage of Voltex guards to compensate. Oh, removing block might actually mean it's useless against Soul of Wrath. So, we'll see when I get there, but that might mean that this set is now worthless against Wrath, as I said. Giowa, increased delay between Purify spawns. Nice, but if you can manipulate Giowa's AI, you can make sure that he almost never spawns them. And now it drops an essence. Who cares about this? If you're good doing Giowa, you're probably pretty close to endgame and don't really need more essences. Nephilim Sacrifice, all stages can now spawn Edriums. Ew. Fixed issues walking on arcane sewers and layer stages. Dial on modified AI skills to match Quest Diablo. So does that mean he won't be spawning Edrium? Or, I don't know. I'll at least try Aldi. We'll see. We'll see what these changes entail. This one's gonna suck, though. Void. Soul of Gluttony. Reduced health, regen, and stun attack. Okay, that's a nerf. So many bosses. Reduced excessive defenses and attack rating. That would mean Soul of Wrath would be easier, I guess. Wrath mode reduced health by 25%, thankfully. And the lockdown is now 15 minutes. Let's see. Oh, Amazon, Javazon. Moonbeam base duration increased to 3 seconds, but duration per level decreased by 20%. Enfilade now adds bonus fire damage instead of poison. Okay, I could see that being more useful if you have Fire Pierce, because there's a lot more Fire Pierce stuff you can get for Javazon specifically than Poison Pierce. Ricochet now converts to and adds bonus fire damage instead of magic. Ricochet is still going to be garbage. Okay, no one's going to use it. And Spellbind now Cast Out now uses the monster variant, so they only changed the Javazon, but they didn't make any changes to make people want to play Javazon. Assassin, Twin Fang Strike. Okay, I'll read this when I get there. Twin Fang Sin. Slightly reduced mana cost scaling. That's still going to be absurdly hard, probably. Throwing. Stormcrow's weapon damage decreased to 110 from 120. Witch Wind physical resist penalty now starts at minus 25%. Does anyone use Witch Wind anymore? I don't think so. Broadside cooldown reduction, self synergy, and base cooldown are reduced. Minimum timer now 7 seconds, down from 8. Okay. Naginata. Backstab, modified duration scaling and added a cooldown. Weapon damage increased to 200% and increased attack rating scaling. Barrier Strike. Blades now appear faster and closer to character and converts 50% damage to magic. Hades Gate fixed a bug with Natalia's Deception adding cooldown. Seems like they're really going to try with Nagi-Sen. I still think everyone's going to play with Throw-Sin or Caster-Sin, but we will see. Way of the Spider now grants 1% Poison Pierce per base level. Damage after skill level 28 reduced by 10%. Way of the Phoenix now grants 1.5% Fire Pierce. I assume this won't apply to traps, so I imagine that's going to be kind of useless. Tiefling form no longer collides with transformations and can no longer be turned off. I didn't realize it still did. In the old versions of Median, it would transform the character into something, in some weird thing. But it stopped doing that in 2017, I think. And can no longer be turned off. Subterfuge no longer adds 1% trap damage per level above 28. So it looks like it's going to be 12 hard points and a bunch of plus skills for Subterfuge. For the max resist increase. Oh! Incineration Trap. Now gains 60% of the Catalyst trap damage bonus, down from 100%. This trap's big range and full Pierce mechanic made area clearing too easy when near a Catalyst. That's a major nerf. That is a major nerf right there. But if it was absurdly overpowered for clearing, then if it could still clear okay, then it won't be a huge deal, but ugh. Maybe I should have done Trap-Sin last season. Way of the Griffin now grants 2 Lightning Pierce. Nobody really cares, I don't think. Maybe I'm wrong. Berserker. Blood Hatred now requires single melee hit to activate. Duration scaling increased by 100%. Fire, Lightning, Cold resistance reduction increased by 50%. More Pierce then. Life on attack now it's base level synergy. I thought it always did. Ugh. Health degen is now fixed 2% instead of life per second. Decreases weapon physical damage by 50% plus 10% per skill level. Okay. Druid devotions are now locked when picking first skill, so you can't lock yourself out from passives. Cool. Druid transformations last 30 minutes. Plague Avatar, buff. Elemental, buff. Hunter, or Laughing Ghost, weapon damage increased by 33%. Cascade, weapon damage increase, so they're making those better. Werebearer. Tooltip shows accurate numbers. Idle Slosglen, 5% lower physical resistance. Oh, okay. Werewolf form. Now adds dodge in addition to avoid evade. Reduced percentage to 25%. So that's going to be a buff. Deadly Strike synergy now 4 plus 1 to base level. Divided by base level, up from 5 plus 0.5. Wait a minute. I can't tell if that's a nerf or not. Maybe I'm just dumb, but I don't know if that's a buff or not. Let's see how long this is going for. 19 minutes, okay. I don't care how shitty that looks. Feed the Pack, reanimate chance now determined by points spent to werewolf form. Now provides 10% plus 1% strength per base level. So strength's going to make it stronger than it already was. Twisted Claw, increased Tornado's hitbox. Bonus cold damage increased by 300%. Okay, so cold scaling will be better with Twisted Claw now. I still don't think these changes are going to make Werewolf any, or very much better in the early and mid game before level 90. Okay, Necromancer improved blocking animation speed, so that means I'm going to have to download the newest version of D2 stats. Malice reordered all skills. Funeral Pyre removed and is available as an O skill. No one cares because nobody played Caster Necro ever. Well, not in Sigma, that's for sure. Boneyard, main target, now does take damage, slightly increased missile speed, lowered mana cost. Okay, so now people might actually want to play the Caster Necro. This was always my biggest gripe with Caster Necro, even in Ultimative, that it didn't work like Ricochet / Lightning Fury. But now that the main target takes damage, then it'll be easier to use for sure. Dream Eater puts enemies to sleep, greatly slowing them down. So I'm guessing this is like Decrepify. Enemies' dreams are consumed, inflicting a high amount of physical damage and restoring health to Necro. That's nice. Monsters will lose poison resistances while being drained. Has diminishing cooldown and can be obtained at level 24. Okay. Death Shards can no longer be used without line of sight. So does that mean you can't use them in Duncraig across the teleport sections? Because if that's the case, that's bullshit. I like my overpowered Death Shards being able to attack through teleport zones. Bane fixed a bug which makes it last forever. Totem. Necro totems cannot be cast without line of sight. Now gain poison length reduction based on difficulty. Stormeye totem damage increased and increased Nova radius. I still imagine no one's going to play Totem Necro. Talons hold max reanimate chance now 20%. Jin improved attacks reanimation. This doesn't really matter, I don't think, because this was here for support, I think, though maybe I'm wrong. Veil King fixed life overflow possibilities. I didn't know that was a thing. It was in the past, but I didn't know it would be here. Let's see. Tainted Blood. Now gives 8 energy factor per base level, down from 10. Okay, so that got nerfed, so you can't hit 100% energy factor so easily, which, to be fair, that needed a little bit of a nerf. Slayer damage increased. Everyone's still going to use Mind Flay because Lightning Pierce is a lot easier to obtain. Symphony of Destruction damage increased. Nobody cares because it's not poison anymore. It can't single-handedly kill Sam, so nobody cares about this. Divine Judgment. Weapon damage increased to 75% up from 70. Bonus magic damage increased by 350% and magic synergy doubled. So it's going to make it better in every conceivable aspect. Retaliate. Bonus magic damage per skill level halved. Now calculate based on total strength or dexterity instead of base strength. Everyone's still going to invest in max strength for this. Colosseum no longer adds flat fire damage per skill level. People only invested in this to make the cooldown 5 seconds, if they did at all. Now adds 80 plus level % of total strength or dexterity as bonus fire damage. Okay. Here we go. Frozen Breath. No, okay, just fixed duration. Dragon Worms reduce mana cost by 19%. Firebolt travel speed increased by 25%. So it's going to be Guardians from Vanilla Diablo 1 and Vanilla Diablo 2, but better. Drake Maw, damage increased by 13%. Cool. Solar Flare, removed glitchy sun effect. Have flare attack duration damage increased. That's funny. No longer disables other non-dragon spells. Duration increased by 4 seconds per base level. No one's going to invest in hard points anyway. Now has Blessed Shield animation when active. Incarnation, excessive attack rating bonus reduced by 25%. Dragon's Blessing. Now passive to avoid gear glitching. And then Super Beast improved hit recovery. Of course, the season after I do Unholy Caster. Sorceress. Gains 20 mana per level up from 17.5. That'll make mana sorceresses more powerful, and so will this. Now gains 5 mana per energy up from 4.5. Mana cost of offensive elemental spells reduced by 40%. So, yeah, mana will no longer be a problem. Base walk speed increased by 10%. Very good. Default damage absorption now 25% up from 15 and can be improved further with items. Very good. By default, now drains 1 mana per point of damage taken, down from 1.5. Lornado. Increased damage before skill level 28 by 26% and 10% after skill level 28. I think everyone's still going to use Carpet of Spiders, aka Arachnomancy. Increased poison duration by 20 seconds and projectile velocity increased by 13%. Range unchanged. Miasma, default haunt duration is now 5 seconds, up from 1. Did people actually use Miasma seriously? I don't know. Vengeful Power now takes 10 points to cap the damage reduction bonus, up from 5. That'll be useful for poison sorceresses. Or no, that'll be harmful to them. Flamefront, damage increased by 25%. Explosion of area of effect increased by 125%. Okay, so that might be used as a main spell, especially if you have the whatever item, the Sacred Unique that gives double Flamefront bolts. Speed and range increased by 25%. Oh, allowing for off-screen damage. That is wonderful sounding. What? Forked Lightning, damage increased by 10%. Tempest, damage increased by 18%. Warp Armor grants 8% defense per skill level, up from 7, and 30% at level 1, up from 20. Okay, so Warp Armor is going to be significantly buffed, so Lightning Caster Sorceresses and Melee Sorceresses will benefit greatly from that. Nova Charge can now increase base dexterity to energy conversion up to 50 at base level 6. So that'll be more useful for melee sorceresses. Can now increase the Nova Scatter radius up to 12 yards, up from 2 at base level 6. Again, buff. Damage has been increased to 110%, or by 110%, and is more consistent. So I could see someone trying to make a lightning piercing melee sorceress and just walking through mobs killing shit with Nova Charge. I could see that being a thing now. Oh, you have a lot here for cold. Frigid Sphere reworked skill mechanics. Greatly sped up main projectile. Explosion expands slowly and lasts longer. Deals repeated damage to enemies at the boundary. Multiple explosions do not stack. Damage increased by 140%. Holy shit. Snow Queen. Okay, buff. And now gives 40% more defense per base level, but caps at 25,000. So put 15 points in here, I'm guessing, and then you'll be good. 40% more defense per base level, up from 25%, but now caps at 25,000. I think before it didn't ever cap. Ice Elemental's minion cap is now 5 and requires base level 8. That kind of sucks. I was going to go with Ice Elementals for summons. It'll still be good. Oh, life increased by 100%, attack rating increased by 33%. This is great. Literally no one cares about this. No one cares. Now have 3% chance to cast the 6, 20, 40 Glacial Nova on attack, up from 1% chance. That's pretty nice, actually. That might help with clear speed a little. Now have 20% chance to cast Ice Lance on attack. Okay, they might actually be doing damage. Now inherit cold spell damage, cold pierce, energy, and energy factor. And maybe I shouldn't have insulted this then, because this seems like you could make an Ice Elemental summoner now. Aura no longer gives minion damage and cold resistance. Now adds total defense by 20%. Good. Aura now adds 25% of minion damage as bonus cold spell damage, up to 100% extra. Wow. Wow, so if you want to go cold caster, you gotta have Ice Elementals. Also, in the past, this used to increase your total character defense by, I think it was 150%. But it's good that they have this back instead of the damn cold resistance, because no one used that for much. Baneblade no longer provides velocity bonus. Force Blast, mana cost reduced by 40%, so that'll be useful for melee sorceresses. Well, all builds really, but especially melee sorceresses. Okay, Chronofield, now Curse. Symbol of Esu now gives up to 5% Fire, Lightning, Cold Absorb. Is that per base point, or just when you put a point into the symbol? Spell damage now applies if above 80% of max life, down from 90. No one cares, because no one's going to use that just with that. Life after each kill is now 20 plus 10 times base level, up from 15. Okay, life after each kill is nice, but against Uber questing, I don't see this being particularly useful. Though, maybe I'm wrong. I mean, if Ben can kill Sam easily with this, well, not easily, but if he can kill Sam with Witchblood, then I'll take back my statement. Twilight Havoc. Okay, we'll have to read about this. New Sorceress skill. A chain of 3 consecutively shrinking explosions at your cursor. First 2 explosions deal damage in a large area. The third does concentrated single target. Deals magic damage and gains spell damage from points in offensive elemental spells. Has a cooldown of 20 seconds and can be obtained at level 50. That might be interesting to play with. Alright, O skills. O skills. Following skills have new icons. Ultimate Chaos, Landmine, Arcane Swarm, Limpet Laser, Void Star, Disintegrate, and Time Field. ATMG Sentry. Base damage increased by 50%. Reduced mana cost. I had been requested to do ATMG Sentry years ago. This makes me more likely to do it. Not over Traps then, mind you. Lightning Arena, field duration increased to 1.6 seconds. Thunder Arena, field duration now 3 seconds, up from 2. Stun duration increased to a second. Stormfront remains renamed Storm Clash. Lex Talionis now automatically triggers retaliate near enemies every 2 seconds, down from 3. I don't even know what this did. I know it was available on that one SU. Limpet Laser no longer gets locked as a ranged skill. Arrow Swarm, range increased. Summon Sinner, Avalanche, and Glowing Blob can now be put as left LMB. Now gains 25% of Shamanic Trance minion damage as bonus spell damage. So maybe that could be useful as a summon barb, though I doubt it. Arcane Swarm damage increased by 20%. What was Arcane Swarm? I don't remember what this even was. Slicer Blade, double damage, double next delay. Cherubim weapon damage increase to 120%. Triggering the skill from an item no longer causes a short cooldown. Now only converts 70% of damage to magic and half mana cost. That was that Zod rune in a paladin shield? I forget what this was. Banish now added elemental magic damage increased by 50%. I didn't know it did damage at all. Ice Lance damage increased by 80%. So does that include the Ice Elemental proc? Because if it does, then holy shit, they could clear pretty quick, I'm thinking. Spiral Dance cleaned up visuals, corrected wrong tooltip, weapon damage value. Okay. Items. Okay. Halberd Assassin only, we read that. Yeah, I mean, that was revealed earlier. Lottery recipe now works on set amulets. Whatever. Removed unnecessary eye level display from certain items. Cool. Circlets, double durability. Okay. Malfeasance can no longer be affix burned. Tainted Shrines reduced roll variance from 6 to 60 to 25 to 40, and from 9 to 90 to 40 to 60. Intimidating Shrines now list armor stats. Oil of Conjuration increased drop rate. Honestly, like everyone knows, I get the shittiest RNG in median XL history, but I did not have that much of a problem with Conjuration drops. So, Health Potion regen effect now capped at 15,000 life. Bullshit. A character with 15,000 life or less drinks a potion, it will restore 100% of their life over time as before. When a character with 30,000 life drinks a potion, yeah. Change was made to eliminate the double dip of effective HP scaling of a small subset of builds which could leverage extremely high life pools. Elemental bases. Increased damage from attribute scaling by 30%. Life Sparks now heals X amount of life as opposed to 3% max life on all levels. Okay, it also proc level on melee weapon bases has been increased from 3 to 10. 233% healing increase. Affix proc chances increase from 15, 20, 25 to 20, 25, 30. Proc level on range weapon bases has been increased from 3 to 6. 100% heal and spawns more often. Naginata affix pool improved stats, added 1.3 and made them more common. Minion affixes no longer spawn on claws. Czar now adds poison resist. That's nice for caster hybrids. UMOs applied to honorific items will now add an additional 7 to items required level. Okay, I guess on top of the 10 required level. Idle Stars flat attributes increased by 22%. Farnham's Lost Marble removed random movement speed component, now reduces it by 4%. I think that's an improvement. Wrath Spirit life after each kill increased by 50%. Essence of Ethereal now gives 15%. Okay, nerf from 20 to 15. Lorzuk's Round Shot now gives 50% EWD instead of strength bonus. Sigil of Absolution can no longer be used on regular or superior items due to rune ward limitations. Oh, that sucks. Though I never found one. Okay, tier uniques. Black Bleach Blade. Poison Slow themed halberd. Akara's Robe can be disenchanted. Okay, so back to farming Griswold for arcane crystals in the early game instead of Andariel. Fellblood now reads Totem and Inherit Iron Golem's regen, health bonus, scales of character level, increased rarity. But it's still probably going to be extremely common. Zorin's Ring now adds 1 extra projectile to Punisher, no longer rolls resistance. Okay. Oh, to the proc. I see. Farsight Globe. Oh shit, this is buffed big time. Level required is now 40, down from 80. Pierce rolls now 2 to 3, up from 0 to 2. Fate Weaver now adds PMSD instead of slow. Moon Curse is fire themed instead of cold. No one's going to play Javazon anyway, so it doesn't matter. And even then, I think the Fortress proc one is better. Shadow Moon now gives fire spell damage. Okay. So holy casters are going to use that, but okay. Let's see how much we got. Oh man, we got a lot of stuff. SUs. Cold Blood. Elemental Crystal Sword with Blizzard and Shatter to the flesh procs and % life regen. That I could see being pretty nice. Especially if Blizzard is as strong as it is in Vanilla D2. Throat Cutter. Okay, we've seen that one. Vaishia's Wall. Sorceress Tower Shield with access to all elemental passives. Holy shit. That is really sweet. Storm Strike. Elemental based short battle bow which provides barrage. That might be useful for a bow druid. Or wait, that's dexterity. Sash of the Frozen Sea. Increase or weapon cold damage based on base sash. New giant sword that enables mana wolf druid. Okay. That one was teased in the first version of the patch notes. Storm Pick, okay, that one was shown off. Fire Hydra, that one was shown off. The Defender, Longsword, Retaliate, and Flat Damage, that one was shown. Daydreamer, new Malice themed U wand with additional bonuses if you have no ultimate skill. Does this include actually wait, it says no ultimate, so I guess that means no Rathmas Chosen Jin or the other one. Fail King. Hefetzo's Reaver. Elemental based battle axe with Shower of Rocks. Okay. Saber the Stormsail. I don't care. Astral Blade is a longsword. That would be good for wolf druids for sure. Durandal the Blazing Sword is now Claymore base. Colonel, I don't care. Goddardam Rung, attack speed bonus reduced to 50%, down from 70. Dream Flange, now max res roll minus or plus 2%. That makes it weaker against Labyrinth. Redeemer now adds fire elementals inherit your fire spell damage. Wizard Spike now spawns with plus Trinity Beam. That will be interesting to try out if someone finds this. Black Razor now adds 60%, 7% of Dexterity's tri-elemental damage. Remove life after each kill. Enhanced damage can now roll to 200% up from 170. So elemental trap rats might be a thing again. War Strike. Proc level increased from 26 to 40. That's the one that gives Poison Pierce. Now always gives 1 to all skills. Now adds 7 to 10 to Way of the Spider. Aaron Nexus physical resistance is reduced from 15 down to 5 to 10. Hell Reach max damage roll is now always plus 50. I don't know if that's a nerf or not. Implement V2. This is the Trapsin one. Removed spell damage. Ow, okay. So much. That one's still probably going to be really good, but I should have played Trapsin last season. Okay, this one was already shown. Fry Sturgard. EWD reduced from 250 to 150. Bonus skills from 6'8 to 5'7. Okay, so this thing got nerfed. Improvements to Naganotish Tree should make up for stat loss. I don't even know what this was before. Stormblade increased drop chance. Now adds max damage instead of Deadly Strike. Increased health and attack speed. Ah, here we go. Now, okay. Lightning damage to weapon from Lightning Shield increased by 100%. Now has 20% chance to cast Life Spark on attack. If I'm remembering right, this is the thing that gives the extra Stormblast projectile. And if that seems like a buff. And of all the weapons to buff, you buff this one. Ord Rakar's Testament. Now reduces enemy elemental resistances by 3% per Nephilim Spirit base level. Proc chance doubled. Biting Frost, Searing Heat give Fizz Res. Bitter Harvest now adds 100% or 200 life on attack. Sorry. This thing gives minus max elemental resistances instead of minus 50% PMSD. I don't even know what this was. Dream Flare. Okay, I got confused. I thought this was supposed to say Dream Flange. Double elemental resistance reduction per Carnage base level. Oh, this is that Hex Blade, I think. Now adds 750 poison damage up. Okay, so this got almost doubled. Minimum life on attack increased by 50. Numir's Shadow, fire damage to Flametail Shot increased by 50%. Hand of Rathma, double drop chance. Mana Storm now adds 31 to 40 PMSD. King's Desire, Hawk damage is now 10%. Additional Hawk count plus 2. Chober Chaber, 90% of strength now added is Tri-Ellie damage. Malleus Maleficarium. Whatever. Remove Bane proc and Magic Elemental Nullification. Crushing Blow increased to 15%. Mana on attack doubled. Now adds 30 points to Divine Judgment and Retaliate. Now it's 20% chance to trigger Thunder Hammer Nova on attack. Winter Majesty. Okay, fixed description string. Spawns with 25% spell damage up from 10%. Leah's Vision no longer gives TCD based on dexterity. That was a I want to say Sacred Globe SU. PMSD damage scaling halved. Boneyard O skill is now 40-50 up from 20-30. Reduces Twilight Havoc cooldown by 50%, so lowers it to 10 seconds. Galona's Lash now grants 1% deadly strike per fire dance base level to Sorceress. Okay, this one we already know about. We're almost there. Natalia's Deception level requirement increased by 13, no longer indestructible because spawning as ethereal does not. This is supposed to say break, but brick the item. Flame Skin now adds 7 fire per attack speed. I don't think anyone's going to use this anyway. Candlewake 5% Crushing Blow is now Cold Pierce. I think that's a nerf, though I might be wrong. It'll be a buff for Wolf Druids, though. Endless Pride, doubled health and mana level bonus. Dark Pact now displays Bloodbath state icon. Triangle's modified stats. The Collector gives 1 to all skills per Great Rune and 8% PMSD, down from 10. That, I think, could be a buff. Hammer Fist, Gauntlet base. Flat damage roll is now down to 1530 from 2040. Hellmouth is heavy glove base. Okay, so they just switched these. Now adds bonus strength, remove 5% dex, increase mana damage. I don't think anyone's going to use that over the other alternatives. Blinding Treads, Dragon's Oath duration is now 150%. Can roll extra paladin skills. Okay, so maybe this might be useful. I don't know. Rhodeus Tramplers, nobody cares. Rakkus Suspend Addiction, grants more PMSD. Rainbow Maiden, max res roll now 3%. Vision of the Furies, okay, now reads Fire Elementals inherit your energy and energy factor. That'll be nice as a summoner, hybrid. Pure Drinker, I don't even know what this was, but now adds 16% mileage damage synergy, reduce spell damage and necromancer skill rolls. Hive Mind now grants 5% pierce per place plague base level to hoplites. So hoplite summoner might be a thing, though unlikely. Argentex Tide, Coliseum damage bonus increase 200%. Fire and poison pierce reduce or increase to 15%. Angel Host always spawns with 2 base block. Signet of the Gladiator for jewelry, proc chance doubled. I don't even remember what this was. COTW removed certain ones that were not supposed to spawn, such as Werebear Morph and Dragonheart. Added new ones: Shunpo, Rapid Worm Shot, Homing Nova Shot, Venom Cloud Totem, Arcane Swarm, Warcry, Bear Claw Nova, and Charge Strike. Sets. Fire. This is the Boazon bow. Removed life on striking. Vasili's Following. Two-piece bonus now gives 20% fire pierce instead of 363 poison damage per second. Big buff. 3% 3-piece gives more total damage to Curari instead of Mythalo skill. Movement speed was moved to the full set bonus. Buff again. 4% 4-piece bonus now gives chance to cast Javelin Nova on kill instead of Glacial Nova. Huge buff. Vasili's Eclipse now rolls 6 to 12 fire pierce. Now adds 20-25% to dexterity instead of strength, and 1 to Amazon skills. Buff. They really buffed this one. They want people to play Javazon. We'll see. Shepherd Moon now rolls Fire Pierce, adds strength instead of energy. The Crescent, that's the shield, I think. Now adds Poison Pierce instead of cold spell damage. Removed Abyss on kill, and now adds plus skills. Falling Star, this is the weapon. Now adds 1 to all skills. Serpent Fangs, now Halberd base. Steep Sleeper. 21 to 30% cold spell damage is now Cold Pierce. Celestial Orchard. I know I can't pronounce that for shit. 2-piece bonus. Change from energy to PMSD. Good. Full set bonus no longer adds reanimates. Increased spell damage to 40%. And now procs Doom instead of Trinity Nova. So if that, I assume Doom makes enemies take additional damage from PMSD spells. If so, that's a huge buff. Giowa's Sacrum, fire damage changed to magic physical, can roll up to 3 necro skills. I think that's a buff. Dragon Grave, increased energy roll. Femur of the Prophet, increased rolls to 3 of 5 necro skills, adds PMSD. Trickster, reduce requirements. Satanic Mantra, fixed name reference. Hadriel's Pure Heart now rolls extra block chance instead of block speed. Hadriel's Avenger now adds 3 additional Dragon Worms. Now here we go, Unholy Caster set. 4-piece bonus, net replace Poison Pierce with 30% PMSD to make Slayer a lot better. Now Warhammer, remove poison spell damage. Imperious. Okay, so both of these are replace poison spell with PMSD. So basically this is for Slayers and maybe Symphony of Destruction builds. Special sets, Vizjiri Domain, new Arcane Sorceress set. Consists of 5 pieces, of which only 3 can be equipped. Huh? Okay. Grants different set bonuses depending on which third piece is worn. Bonuses include Twilight Havoc, spell damage scaling from arcane spells, and cooldown reduction. Immersion leeches life. That will be nice. Hive now grants 1% of it as energy per base level in the arcane tree, max 65. Duration reduced to 30 seconds. O skill sets. Gear part now has item level of 118. Darkling, item level 115. Viper skin level 115. Slow roll is now 3.8. Remove Talic Morph due to glitches on the Sanctuary sets. Henchman trophies level requirement increased by 10 for all pieces. And finally, Anarchy. I think that's, I might be wrong, but I think that's Assassin Claw, maybe? Reduced max life bonus to 15%, cast speed now 30%. Pax Mystica, Charge Blink is now an O skill. Okay, that's regular Pax Mystica. Ladan. Reduced mana sweep cooldown by 6 seconds. That seems really nice. And that is the Sigma 1.4 patch notes, everybody. So I will see you guys on the new season.